Well, Governor Dean, first of all, thank you for sitting down and talking to us. Really appreciate that.
Happy to be on.
Now, you've got a new book out, Howard Dean's Prescription for Real Healthcare Reform, which compels me to ask you, Doctor, in a nutshell, what would your prescription be?
It's actually pretty understandable. You give the American people the choice to reform healthcare or not. Congress shouldn't have that choice. The insurance companies shouldn't have that choice. And if you have a public option, that is the ability to choose a public plan or a private plan, then you have the choice. And then we'll see if America really wants healthcare reform or not. My bet is that they do, and that a number of them will choose the public option, and by doing so, they'll A, have an insurance that's affordable and can never be taken away no matter what, and B, insurance companies will have to behave much better than they do right now.
We've been having this conversation, this argument in this country since the days of Teddy Roosevelt. And it always comes down to the same kind of rhetoric. On the one side, people are saying, look, people need health care. It should be a right of citizenship. On the other side, people start hooting and hollering about socialism and government takeovers and all that kind of stuff. And we seem to be stuck in that rut. Why don't the American people embrace what the rest of the world has long since?
I think it's a combination of things, but mostly fear. The system works pretty well for about 65% of Americans. It's expensive, but it works. And when I say 65%, roughly 80% of Americans have health insurance. Of those, 80% have pretty good health insurance. And so that 65 always beats 35. You can't make the issue about the people with no insurance because or lousy insurance. That's 35%. You got to make the issue about the economy, and you got to make the issue about choice. The truth is, our employer-based health insurance is hurting us. It's costing us jobs. If you want to make our businesses more competitive, you can't have this healthcare system anymore. A system where a huge proportion of the money that you pay in premiums is actually paid to shareholders and CEOs and goes to advertising and things like that. It doesn't go to healthcare at all. That's why the system's so expensive. So if you have a public option that you give the American people the choice of joining, they'll join it, they'll like it, and that will reform the private sector, and then you'll have healthcare reform.
The public option, as you said, seems to be or should be the centerpiece of any healthcare reform here. Has President Obama, has the White House made a mistake by not declaring that a healthcare reform bill, any bill that comes out of Congress, without a strong public option, is a deal breaker and will be vetoed? Should he have said that from the get-go? Should he say it now?
I don't think he should say it'll be vetoed, but I think he has repeatedly said that a strong public option is absolutely necessary. Unfortunately, I think there are some who are sort of behind the scenes saying otherwise, and I think that's a mistake because a bill without a public option is a waste of money. Imagine putting $60 billion a year into the private health insurance business. That's crazy. And charging that to our kids' credit cards. That's just a foolish bill. So, I think the president's done a great job under very difficult circumstances. I think we will pass the bill, and I think there's a very good chance it'll have a public option in it when it passes.